mask swayed gently on the tree branch, back and forth, the same way a noose might swing in the wind. Only there was no wind. It was my face, every line, every detail, the curve of my jaw, the shape of my nose, even the faint scar above my eyebrow. The glass eyes caught what little light there was and held it, making them seem alive. I stepped toward it. I didn't want to, but my legs moved anyway. The mask was tied to the branch with thin, frayed rope. My hands trembled as I reached for it. The closer I got, the heavier the air felt, thick, pressing against my skin like water. I touched it. Cold. Too cold. Like it had been left outside in winter. When I lifted it off the branch, the rope came away easily. But the moment the mask left the branch, the forest around me changed. The silence was complete. Not the kind of quiet you get when you're alone in nature. Not peaceful. This was wrong. No wind. No rustle of leaves. No creak of branches. Not even the faint hum in your ears when you're somewhere still. It was like the world had been muted. I could hear my heartbeat, slow and loud. I could hear my breath rasping in my throat. But nothing else. The trees around me seemed taller now. Closer. They leaned in, their branches curling downward, as if listening. I turned slowly, mask still in my hand. Every tree looked the same, but I could swear they hadn't been standing like this before. I tried to pick a direction. Left, right, forward, back. It didn't matter. Every way looked like a narrow path between dark trunks. I started walking. The mask felt heavier with each step, though it was just wood and glass. I didn't want to carry it, but every time I thought about dropping it, I felt this deep, sick fear in my stomach, like something bad would happen if I let go. The ground under my feet changed. First damp leaves, then soft moss, then something else. Something that gave slightly when I stepped on it, like thin ice over deep water. I crouched and touched it. Not ice. Skin. A smooth, pale layer stretching between the roots. I jerked my hand back and stood, heart pounding. I walked faster. Every few steps, I glanced over my shoulder. There was nothing there, but the space between the trees seemed darker than it should be. Like the shadows were thicker. Watching. Then I saw something move. Far ahead, just for a moment, a flicker of white between the trees. I froze. It moved again. Not fast. Not running. Just drifting. A second mask. Hanging in the air. No rope, no branch. Just floating at my eye level, turning slightly, as if to face me. The glass eyes caught the dim light and seemed to narrow. I stepped back. The mask moved forward. I took another step back. It followed. It didn't rush me. It didn't lunge. It just came forward one slow, deliberate step at a time. I turned and ran. My footsteps thudded against the ground, but the forest swallowed the sound.
No echoes. No snapping branches.
Just the hollow drum of my own heartbeat in my head. I didn't know where I was going. I just needed to get away. I don't know how long I ran before I saw the cabin again. Only it wasn't the same. The walls were darker, wet-looking, like they'd been standing in the rain for years. The door was gone, the opening yawning black. And hanging above the doorway, another mask. My mask. But this one wasn't wood. It was flesh. Pale skin stretched tight, the mouth stitched shut, the empty eye sockets leaking something dark. I couldn't make myself go inside. I turned to run again, but when I did, the forest had shifted. The path behind me was gone. In its place stood a wall of trees, their trunks pressed together like a barricade. The silence deepened. I could hear something else now. Breathing. Not mine. Slow. Heavy. Coming from inside the cabin. I gripped the wooden mask tighter. If I stayed out here, whatever was in the forest would find me. If I went inside, I'd have to face whatever was breathing in there. I chose inside. The moment I stepped through the doorway, the breathing stopped. The air was heavier here, almost wet. My footsteps felt slow, like I was moving through thick liquid. The room was empty, no table, no bed, no jar of teeth. Just bare walls and a floor covered in that same pale, skin-like layer I'd seen outside. In the center lay another mask. This one was split down the middle. Half my face, half someone else's. I didn't touch it, but when I looked away just for a second, it was gone. And when I looked back, it was on my face. I don't remember putting it on. I don't remember lifting my hands, but I could feel it, cold against my skin, the edges biting into me. The glass eyes blocked my sight, but in the darkness behind them, I could see something. Not the cabin, not the forest. A figure, tall, thin, wearing a mask of its own. It lifted a hand and pointed at me, and in the silence, I heard a voice. Not aloud, but inside my head. Now you belong here. I ripped the mask off and dropped it. The world spun. My vision blurred. When it cleared, I was outside again. But the cabin was gone. The forest around me was wider now, stretching in every direction. The silence was gone, replaced by a low, constant whisper I couldn't understand. I looked down at my hand. The mask was still there, only now it was smiling.